In honor of our country's 250th anniversary, Cougar has come out with the all-new 1776 edition. When they first told me about it, I didn't know. I was like, oh man, I don't think this is gonna be good. But honestly, once you get up close and see it, this is beautiful. It's funny because they've actually gone through some renditions. Initially, they wanted it to look like a flag on the paper and had the Union in the back. And thanks to all of our amazing viewers, everyone said, no, that is not flag code. That is not right. We came back to Keystone and said, the Union needs to be in the front like this thing is riding into battle. They have made that adjustment, and I think it's perfect. Now, you can get the 1776 edition on two different floor plans, the 316 RLS, which we have reviewed, and the all-new 360 MBI. So this is what we're going to look at today. This is an awesome mid-bunk layout. As we take a look up front, a couple things here I want to point out. The first one being the Kurt Helix pin box. This is a huge upgrade over a standard pin box. They say it's up to a 30% reduction in force into the frame. And as we know, frame flex with fifth wheels has been a concern. This right here is one of the things, on top of a lot of other things that they do on the frame itself for construction, that helps mitigate that. You'll also see right up top here this beautiful front cap. And again, I love what they have done. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. This is an actual full body paint, folks. This is going to be a matte paint all the way around. It's not like this is a decal that's going to come off. This will not get tattered. It will stay looking beautiful. You have an LED light right here too to help light up that pin box in case you're hooking up or disconnecting at night, as well as LED lights in the cap, which look great. The new Keystone symbol there, standing nice and proud right above the Cougar. As we drop down underneath and take a look at the front compartment, a few things that I want to talk about while we're up here. First one is going to be your battery box right over to the side. Now, this one currently doesn't have a battery in it, so we just have a jump box helping to power it. You can get lithium if you want a lithium option. That is something available on this coach as well. And then we kind of take a look at some of the other electric components in here. We'll see everything from our 12-volt distribution box there to a regular battery disconnect, as well as the solar disconnect. You can see this one has your 30 amp MPPT controller on there, your solar charge controller, because we have 220 watts of solar up on the roof. And again, that is going to be upgradable as well. And then you also see this one has the Tire Link Prep. So if you want a TPMS system, it's nice and easy to install. Speaking of the tires and the wheels, they do an amazing job here. You're looking at 235/80 16-inch tires, but these are going to be 16-ply H-range tires, which is awesome. And that goes for everything that's on the coach, as well as the spare here. You're getting a full-size spare, as you would expect, to make sure everything is nice and smooth if you do have to replace that. You also see that you have a tie-down here, so if you have a doggo that's with you, hook them up right there. They'll be under the shade. Throw a dog bed out here. Perfect spot for them. I love the little 1776 emblem they put on here. And again, as I said, everything here is full body paint. Beautiful, beautiful matte paint. And I think the colors they picked really with that matte paint are really what helped make this look so good. You'll get two 30-pound propane tanks, one on this side, one on the other. Pretty standard fare for Cougar. And as we take a look at the pass-through, a couple things I do want to mention. Because it's Cougar, again, you're going to get good slam latch baggage doors that actually function the way they're supposed to. Nice heavy-duty metal components in here. Magnetic catch, so you don't have to worry about struts. It's not going to come out and you're not going to hit your head on it or anything like that. And take a look at how much storage you get in here. Fantastic amount of storage that they utilize in the Cougar. You can see that you get these bins right here as well. And then you also have some different things here. So they've gone away from the on-command system just because, there was a lot of electronics and a lot of people didn't really care for it, and it was honestly pretty expensive. So what they've done instead is to be able to make things nice and simple, you have awning controls out here. So if you want to extend or retract your awnings, especially if you're in a tight spot, this right here allows you to actually stand outside and be able to control them and watch and make sure that you're not going to hit anything, which I think is pretty great. Of course, you have LED lights on both awnings, as you would expect as well. And there's TV connection out here too, so if you do want TV, you can hook that up. Right next to that is going to be the outside kitchen. So you have an outside fridge right here, and then you have this space. Now, initially when they launched this one, I believe it was last year, 2025, I think they launched it, they had a griddle here, but they, you know, asked for a lot of customer feedback, and a lot of people like yourselves watching said, we don't want that griddle, right? We have our own Blackstone. We have something else. We don't want to use the one that comes with it. And they said, great, okay, not a problem. They removed everything, left this nice and open, and then in its place, you will have a propane quick connect, kind of tucked away right there. So you can hook up your favorite grill or griddle or whatever you want and still be able to cook, but not be forced to use what it came with. And so that, again, that just gives you good extra outside storage. I think that was a pretty smart move. And then we get into the steps. Now, these are going to be the newest steps that have come out. You had more ride steps, Lippert had a solid steps, and now Suburban is in the game with some of their own advancements, so to speak. So rather than having aluminum treads, they went with a composite, so there is literally 0% chance of the treads rusting out. And on top of that, they have the easiest system to set up for the legs. It's going to essentially be a ratchet system. So rather than having a pin you have to pull or a lever you push where it has certain lock points, it ratchets in and out so that you have so many different spots that you can set it at, meaning that it's going to be the easiest to set up out of any of the step systems. You also have the large MORryde safety rail. This again is going to be the newest in safety rail design, works really well, a lot more stable than it looks. I've tested this thing, and definitely a great system, and again, it sticks out a lot further than just your standard normal curved grab handle. We have the big 16-ply H-Series tires on there. You can see the red hubs represent the fact that this one has anti-lock brakes. That's going to be a big thing. A lot of us are used to having anti-lock brakes on our vehicles, but we take it for granted, like, oh yeah, why wouldn't a travel trailer, a big fifth wheel have anti-lock brakes? But honestly, most of them do not, and it's an amazing safety feature. I've been out to the track and watch it tested, and trust me, it does make a big difference, especially if you have to stop in a hurry. Having the anti-lock brakes on the trailer is wonderful. Even if it's in good, like slippery conditions, it's going to be even more beneficial. Coming around to the back, a couple things I do want to point out back here, right down underneath, you get an accessory hitch. This is not for towing, but that one can hold 300 pounds. So if you have like a big bike rack or something you want to slide in there, it's great for that. You also get the Keystone Safety View power inlet. Make sure everything is good. Both of our legs on our 50 amp neutral ground, everything is good to go there. And then you will have your ladder so you can climb up onto the fully walkable roof. You also see the camera prep, so that if you want a backup camera, it is literally a plug and play installation. If that is something you want to know how to do, we do have a video on it on our sister channel, Camping World Tutorials. Hop on over to that and we'll walk you through that process step by step. Then as we kind of make our way up, a few more things I want to point out. One are going to be the windows. You'll see this has frameless windows on it, which not only look great, but because of the way they operate, essentially the seals are tucked behind here. So the seals are going to be protected a little bit better from the elements, and because they tilt open, you can have these open during the rain, as long as it's not like a sideways rain, and so you can still get some airflow without it getting all stuffy inside the RV or getting water in there. Tankless water heater on this one. We can talk a little bit more about that when we go inside into the bathroom. And these doors are locked, so I am going to unlock them. So this is going to be the other side of our pass-through here. What you'll notice is that this one has two different style doors. You have this one right here, which essentially is going to open up like so, but because we have the slide here, this one is going to open this way. And you may say, well, Ian, why don't you have both barn doors, where they kind of open up this way? Well, a few reasons. One is because if you have a door that swings open, well, now it's going to be in front of the water heater, and if your water heater is blowing hot air, you don't want that to damage your door. The other reason is if you're going down the road, there's much less chance that the wind is going to pop either of these doors open, because it's going to push this one closed, and it's not going to force this one up, whereas if it opens this way, the wind may be able to do that. So this is actually a brilliant design. If we take a look right here, again, this is going to be our utility compartment, right? So you have everything you need for winterization, city water hookup. You have a black tank flush there, insulated valve bodies. This is a Cougar, folks. This one is rated for cold temps. If you want to do some winter camping, a little bit of preparation, you can certainly do that here. You see you have your tank fill there, outside shower with hot and cold. You have additional solar right here. So if you have a briefcase style solar, you can hook that up there as well. And then of course we have auto level on this coach here too, and then some light in case we're getting in here at night. Again, gorgeous outside, love, love, love the paint, but what about the inside? What changes have they made for 2016? Well, let's head inside and find out.
You said 2016.
2026. What changes have they made for 2026? I'm a decade behind. Let's go inside and take a look. Let's take a look at the inside of the 2026 Keystone Cougar 360 MBI 1776 edition. So as you can see, this floor plan, you're gonna have dual opposing slides here, giving you essentially a rear living space, but midship, we're going to get a second room with a loft up top and an amazing suite up front. So let's actually start off over here on the campside slide out. This, of course, is going to be a super slide here, and what you'll see is that you have the campside dinette. Always preferable in a floor plan because that way you get to view out to your campsite. And I personally like having a dinette, right, or a table. I've seen so many manufacturers are starting to go to bar tops, and I like bar tops if it's going to be for two. But I also like to play games, and I like to have a table to be able to do that at. And so that's what we get right here. Also with the dinette, something you get is going to be good extra storage, right? You have the big bench seats. You're able to put stuff underneath. These are nice and finished off too. I like what they've done there. And you can drop this down into an additional sleeping space if you want to put like a dog bed up there, or if you have like a pack and play, as long as kids aren't crawling out. It's a good spot for it, right up on top of there as well. Right over to the side here is going to be your theater seating, the best seat in the house in my opinion, for a few reasons. One, of course, because you can sit down and recline, right? You just have a nice touch button operation here. You have some vibration. You probably can't hear that, but you do have some vibration here as well as heated. And again, you can kick back, relax. You have a straight shot to the TV. This is definitely the best seat. You have a little bit of space here, so you can throw a remote in there, some cup holders, and if you have guests, you have additional seating right here, so everyone can be in the conversation, right? Dinette here, theater seating, sofa, everyone can be talking, standing at the kitchen island. It really just does an excellent job of being able to feel like everyone is in the conversation, whether it's you and friends or you and the kids or whatever it may be. The trifold sofa along the back does fold out, giving you some additional sleeping space. So if you have adult guests that need to stay the night, they can sleep here. You also have really good end tables with your electrical outlets and USB ports there. So if you have laptop, tablet, whatever, you have a spot to plug those in. Windows all the way around with blackout roller shades. You'll see some lights up top as well as the storage going all the way across the top here. Now I do want to talk about the window treatments for a second because a lot of manufacturers are going away from these. A lot of them are just going to wood. While I do like the look of the wood better, I think, these are a little bit chunky. The nice thing about these is they do help block out the light a little bit more because there's always going to be a gap behind where your roller shade is, and that's going to let in a lot of light. But by having these kind of come in and around, it does block a lot of that light. So if you do want a darker coach, having these on the side definitely is going to be an improvement there. If we take a look at the opposing slide, as I mentioned, this is our entertainment center TV, perfect placement, fireplace right down underneath, and as we've seen in so many different fifth wheels and even travel trailers these days, you get the pantry behind it. This is a great idea just because it gives you all this extra storage, be able to utilize what normally would be wasted space. And I like to give you a spot to hang things here, as well as the fact there's an electrical outlet. So if you have like a Dyson or like a Swiffer wet jet or something like that, you have a spot for it. And if it's something that needs to charge, you can do that in there as well. So again, I think that's just an excellent pantry space. Now let's move into the kitchen. So they've definitely made some changes here for 2026. You have new countertops, new faucet. Your island itself is a little more decorative now. They kind of stepped it up a level. I think everything is nice and clean, cleaner colors all the way throughout. It's nice and bright in here, and the accents I think are top notch. You also see you have kind of like the darker gunmetal stainless steel here. And of course, because you have a true solid surface that's undermounted. And I really like the drying racks. I've seen so many manufacturers that go to like the rolling ones. And yeah, okay, they're nice because you can roll them and stuff them in a drawer, but a lot of times they just don't fit very well and they fall in the sink really easily. These are built, they're designed for this sink. There's plenty of space. I feel safe actually putting dishes here, not like it's gonna collapse into my sink. This is definitely what I prefer. Underneath, they left it nice and open, so you have plenty of room for a large trash can. I think that is crucial. If you're not going to have like a pull-out drawer, give me space underneath my sink. That is where I want it. And then you have 3 full extension ball bearing drawers here. The bottom 2 really big. You'll see your silverware tray. And of course, because we have full body paint, they do give you some touch-up paint there as well in the event that you need it. Now, across the way is going to be the 3-burner cooktop. That, of course, is recessed with the glass cover for prep. We have the oven here, too. And then underneath that, you're going to have additional storage plus more right over to the side. So pretty good storage all the way throughout the kitchen here. You also have an electrical outlet here. You'll have another one on this side of the island. So and those are going to be pre-wired for an inverter. When we were up front outside, we saw where you could install that inverter. So if you do want one, those are already pre-wired, so you'll be good to go. Storage space all the way around the microwave here as well. And then coming in a little bit further is our nice large fridge freezer combo. We have the fridge on the right here, freezer on the left, and you can see that you have great cold storage. All right, now let's get into the mid-bunk, because that essentially is what this one's all about, right? Everything back here is all rear living. This is where things start to get into the mid-bunk space. And it's pretty easy to see why this is so popular. You still get a rear living. A lot of times when you have extra beds, you have to give that up. That's not the case here. Here you get a bonus room, right? This can be the in-law suite. This can be for the kids. This can be the man cave, the lady den, the office, whatever you want it to be. The sofa here does fold out. So again, you have additional sleeping space. You get great storage all the way around here, including, you have, again, just plenty of space for folded clothes here. Right over to the side, again, even more. I do kind of wish, in my mind, I thought that this was going to be open. I kind of wish that this was open so you had a spot to hang clothes, but it's still pretty good for additional clothing space, drawers there. And if you want a TV, there's a nice big spot right here where you have plenty of room for a TV. This, again, can be used as a desk. You just need a chair. Now, your legs can't go all the way underneath. That's like the only downside of using this as a desk. I kind of tried to do like a half squat wall sit. I still think it is usable, but the reason they did that, I'll show you in just a second here when we head out. There is a reason for it, and I'm all for it. You also see a light here, plus you get an AC duct, so I know you're not going to fry in here. You also have a window to let in some natural light. But this right here is really what the floor plan is all about. You also see that you have the kind of like the double French doors here. So, when we close these, it's actually a nice look, right? Like if you don't want, that exposed because your teenage son is in there playing PlayStation or whatever, you can close this and everything still looks nice and classy. You don't have just this giant exposed room. Coming around and up the steps a little bit, I don't know if you can peek in there, but this is going to be our main control panel right here. This is going to be for the AC. So this one has 2 AC standard. You have an 18,000 BTU AC in the back. You get a 15K up in the bedroom, and it is prepped for a third, so you can have up to 3 in here. All of your slide controls and everything else are here. Again, they've gone away from the one command system, went back to mechanical, because that's kind of what everyone wanted, honestly. They didn't want the upgraded technology. They just wanted simplicity, and that's what they went back to. So again, you have USB ports here, so this is kind of like a little charging nook. If you want to put your phone here, it's not cluttering up the countertop. And then you see the control for your Max Air fan there as well. And then you have your converter, fuse panel, breaker box right down here. And we talked about in the bonus room why we lost that extra storage, and this is why right here, because they gave you a shoe cubby. And for me, this is 100% worth it. I hate coming in, especially in a tight space like this, and just having shoes everywhere. Now you can come in, take them off, slide them in there, be able to hang up your jacket, rain jacket, your favorite sweatshirt for the campfire, whatever you want right there. You see the handrail to be able to come up the stairs, already pre-installed. The ladder comes out to make it easier to climb up and into the loft right above that bonus room. So you saw that, I'm 6 foot and I had a little bit of extra head space. You could probably be 6'1", so be able to stand in that bonus room without ducking down. But the reason that it's a lower ceiling is because you get this loft up here, 800-pound weight capacity. So yes, you can easily sleep 2 adults, and it has TV hookup there as well. So if you want a TV up there, it's nice and easy to hook that up. Coming into the bathroom, couple things. One is the fact that this does have like a sliding door here instead of a pivot door, so that way you don't have to do the dance when coming in and out of the bathroom. Bathroom itself has great space. I mean, if I sit down, I'm a decent sized guy, about 6 foot, 215 pounds. I have porcelain bowl here, great shoulder space, plenty of leg room, big linen closet over to the side. I have a towel bar right back here, so I can easily grab a towel from the shower. Speaking of, if I step in the shower, you'll see it comes with the tri-slide clear glass door. And with that skylight, folks, you can probably be 6'3" and still be able to stand up in here without having to bend down, which is wonderful. You get the upgraded Oxygenics shower head in here, a seat there too, plus some shelves. And then one of the things I do like is that they put solid surface in the the bathroom as well. A lot of manufacturers try to save a little money here and will go to a thermoformed countertop. I love that they kept with the solid surface. And look at that, there's still enough room for a trash can. Thank you, Cougar. Appreciate good design. You'll also see that you have toilet paper holder there, but you have 3 drawers here too. And as I mentioned, this one does have the on-demand instant tankless water heater so that you can take a nice long shower. Coming into the bedroom, we'll see a couple things. One of them is going to be this hidden storage right at the top of the dresser. I think this is pretty cool, something that oftentimes is missed, but this is a great spot for, you know, some valuables, or if you're a fan of the Second Amendment, might be a good spot to be able to put a lockbox in there. You can see that right underneath that, you have some additional drawer space. Spot for a TV is going to be right here. That, of course, is going to be straight across from the bed as you'd expect. That is in a slide out, and here we start to bring that 1776 edition back in with some of our decorative pillows, as well as the runner right here along the edge of the bed. Above the windows, you have shelving space. That way you can plug in any kind of cell phone, or if you're like me and you have to have a bottle of water at night, you can set it right up there. And then right up front, because they know you're going to want to spend a lot of time in your coach, there is washer and dryer prep. Of course, you just have to remove these shelves if you don't want washer and dryer, because believe it or not, everyone wants prep, but very few people actually get the washer and dryer. This is still great usable storage right up here. And then as we come into the, let's turn the lights on, there we go. As we come into the front wardrobe, this is probably one of my favorite features. I wish I had this at home, and I think more manufacturers should use this. You have a light up hanger rod here, and I think this is absolutely brilliant. You'll see you have shelving space up top, and then if we go to the other side, take a look at that. You have a dirty laundry basket, right? You planning on doing laundry? Great, you can throw all your laundry right in there. You also have an inverted outlet in here, or rather pre-wired, so that if you have a CPAP machine, you have a nice big shelf, you can hook it up right there and be able to sleep on that side of the bed. As you can see, folks, I mean, just from front to back, they have done a lot here. The outside is absolutely gorgeous. Great advancements for 2026. If you're interested, you want to know price and availability, that will be in the description. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Baker. Until next time, we'll see you.